What's up, y'all? I hope all is well with y'all today. You guys, we're going to be talking about how to hear from God. And primarily, I want to speak about angel numbers and spirit animals. And I know, some people may have their opinions, whatever, but baby, I don't care. I know what works for me, what has worked for me, what has got me right here where I am with God before I was able to hear from God directly, before I was led onto my spiritual journey. This is what first got me into believing in the higher power, believing that things were not just a coincidence, because nothing happens by coincidence. You're not seeing things that you're seeing repetitively for no reason. It's all divinely led. So, some people call this new age. They'll call it all of this crap, occult, and all of this stuff. But baby, one thing about it is we are in a new age. And God knows that the things that he must do for this generation is different from things he had to do for previous generations. He works in different ways. The things that was working once in the early days in the Bible, he ain't using those same things today and age. This day and age, you're not going to tap the water and it just turned to blood. So things has changed because humanity has changed, and the things that he has allowed to happen, the way humanity has corrupted the world has caused the frequencies and things to change. It's different ages. Over history of time, there has been different ages. We got the Bronze Age, we got the Iron Age, we got the Industrial Age, we got the Modern Age, we got the Middle Age. So different ages calls for different things, new inventions, new ways of doing things, but it's still God's work. He just works in different ways. And that the way he speaks to you is not going to be the way he speaks to me. The way he speaks to me is not going to be the way he speaks to you. But nonetheless, he's going to do whatever it is, use whoever he has to get you to wake up, to see that it is him that is talking to you, to try to convey a message to you. He will use whatever he has to. And I know spirit and because he still speaks to me like right now. That's what's like, let me do this video, because I was just talking, I'm like, God, what you want me to talk about today? I'm just on a move working on, because I'm doing my book about how to build your relationship with God. And I'm that's the part that I was on. And at first I was like, I don't know if I want to really put the angel number thing in there or whatnot, because I know some people might have their, but that's them. If God is trying to talk to you through these numbers, baby, angels work for the Lord. They don't work for Satan. So people who are saying that it's demonic, angels are the Lord's. Archangel Gabriel, who been coming to them in the Bible, who came to Mary to let her know that she was going to be bearing a child, the one who came to Daniel to let him know what the vision meant that God was giving him, that angel. Those are God's messengers. Even the fallen angels once used to work for the Lord until they began to want his spot and want to, get out of line. And then they got kicked out from grace, thrown from grace and kicked out. But for real, angels work for the Lord, and they still work for the Lord. They work in different ways. Whatever way God tell them to work. God is at his throne. And he got everybody under him that's supposed to work out his plans for humanity. We as earth angels have a job, which is the chosen ones. We're here on earth in the physical. We're here in the physical to be a light to people. We're here in the physical. And there's still angels in the heavens that will translate to us, for us to know what to say to people, God is the one sitting up at the top calling the shots. He's the big dog. He's the kingpin. He don't have to do little man stuff. He got little men under him to do that stuff. That's why as chosen ones, we're workers for the Lord. We're slaves for the Lord. And this is part of the reason why I wanted to do this video today, is because of he's sending me these numbers again. And it's been a minute since I've been seeing angel numbers. And for me, it's not like always like most of the time for me, like it started off for me with 917 because that's my birthday. So God will do things to get your attention. So I'm like, back in 2021, I think it was 2021, it was August. I'm never going to forget, because it was like a month before my birthday, and I was working on a business and stuff. And I'm like, this when I was selling phone cases. And I'm like, why all of a sudden, every time I turn around, never had this happen before. Never had this happen before. Where I just kept seeing these sequence of numbers. When you're seeing a sequence of numbers, that is God using his angels to try to get your attention. And one thing about God, I mean, he get my attention through always. And I'm gonna go into it. Look, 444 right here. And it's not, because you want to get the true meaning, not this generic, because I do see I seen a chart and it has like 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, 666, 777, 888, 999. those can have meaning. But I'm talking about more like a sequence. But even still, when he's first getting you started, you might see a sequence of those numbers, and you can look up what the meaning is. Look, Google spiritual meaning of this, and you will know if it's for you because of what you're going through. Because the numbers come through for based on what you're going through right now in your life, the situation at hand, however you're feeling, your emotions, all of that, Ari. Those things, it, it it'll come to you at that time, and that's how you know it's directly from the Lord, what he's trying to direct you. And you'll know because you'll get confirmation, and when you see this, you ask for more confirmation, and he will send it to you, and he will even lead you into the word. That's why I always say get into your word, because oftentimes too, I'll look up the spiritual meaning of it, and then I'll also I'll Google Bible verse 117, because that's the number he's been showing me the past couple of days. I'm like, all right, all of a sudden 117 is swarming me again. Like, it'll become like a pattern of certain numbers for you. Like I've told y'all, 117, 717, 917. Those are more so my numbers, but sometimes I do even see 333. Like it depends on what message he's trying to convey to you. Because there was at one point when I was I got a video about this too. Proof that this stuff is real, proof that he communicates through these numbers to me. And even 144, like I'm seeing that more lately. And it's for me right now, the numbers he's showing me is to provide reassurance to me, because I had a whole upset. I was mad yesterday, upset. I told you I do this like once or twice a week. I don't even know why I still let the devil get to me at this point about my situation. Because I know that God is not a man that he should lie. I know what the promise was. I know what he promised me. And I know that he ain't lying to me. And I know that my faith is going to be a testament of what he said he was going to do. He just want me to keep trusting and keep having faith. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But I just really want y'all to know that when you see a sequence of anything, even when it comes to animals, because like I said, he uses spirit animals a lot for me. In which like I said, I'm gonna talk about it later. But my first situation with the spirit animal was the toad when I was living with my mom back in 2018. And I was just trying to get my life together. I had just left my baby dad, moved from his house, went back to my mom's house, and I was staying there. And like a couple months had went by. I think it was either like beginning of 2019 when I started seeing this toad. Every time I used to be in the bathroom in the basement, because I used to stay in my mom's basement, and she got a bathroom in the basement. And in the window, this, like, every time I would come in the bathroom, especially like in the morning, or even at night, it's just like every time I come in this bathroom, something keep plopping to the window, like noise keep happening at the window. And mind you, the window is underneath her deck. Like when you look out that window, you don't see nothing but the underneath the deck that's out back. So I'm like, what is this? And I see the little frog. It's like a small little toad, like just they keep coming to the window. I'm like, what is up with this? And me, as the curious person I am, I Google everything. Anything that I don't understand, I'm going to Google it. I'm going to figure out, like, what is this? So that's how I first learned about spirit animals, because I was like, I Googled a frog keep jumping to my window. Why this frog keep jumping to my window? And at that time, it spoke to what I was going through with the transition that I was in. And that, I was in a transition. I was preparing myself, because I was only living at my mom's house to literally get myself together. I'm not that type who go. So when I'm in tough times, I'm not just going to soak in it. I'm in it so that I can grow through it, learn what I need to learn in it, and prepare myself. Because I was not going back to my mom's house just to live there forever. Nah, I was there for a year and like a few months, just to literally get myself together, got my credit together, stacked my money. I was working hella overtime. Like, I was really there to get myself together. And I started transitioning, like, and I was able to move back out on my own. In November 2019 is when I moved out my mom's house. So I was only there for like a year and a few months. But during that time, that frog was coming to my window. I'm like, what's the odds? Every time I come in this thing, it just make a noise. Like, because it got to get your attention. He will use anything to get your attention. And even now, like, he uses, like, sometimes, and it's only because I don't have a car right now, y'all. And I've told y'all this before, but I don't have a car. I have not had a car for the past 2 years being on this journey. Like, because I told you I sold my car to come to Texas, and my car was paid off. And sometimes I really do be regretting. I be getting, this is what I get mad about every week. Every week I'm getting mad about the same thing, about my car and my money, because I'm like, I'm obedient. I'm doing what you're telling me to do. I'm making this book you telling me to do. I'm on my YouTube videos. I've been doing my videos. I'm doing the other stuff you want me to do. I'm really trying to just spread your word. I'm trying to awaken your people. I'm doing this. And I'll be like, what is going on? I understand too that I am facing heavy witchcraft, because, and I pray against it. So if you're a monitoring spirit, because I like, let me calm down, because baby, I for sure know I have monitoring spirits. Like, and I ain't even gonna go all the way into it, but it's just so much that has happened within this past week. And even the other week, even people that's on that watch you on social media. And this is why I say about, I'm just gonna give y'all this advice. Be careful what you post on social media. Pray every day. You gotta stay prayed up, because people who even fake like they support you, who watch you, who will email you, they be trying to get in good with you, trying to build relationships on social media, but whole time they're a witch or a warlock or demonic energy, a Satanist agent, and they be trying to get to you to throw you off your narrow path that God has you on, to plant seeds of doubt in you, seeds of fear, make you feel like this ain't what it is. When you gotta remember, that's why I have to do oftentimes. I have to be like, Tania, it don't matter what these people say out here. It don't matter what nobody say, because I know that I have a true connection with the Lord. Like, federal, we locked in for real. I have a real relationship with the divine, with the Most High, with the Father, with the creator of this world. I have a true relationship that was built genuinely by myself. Nobody did this with me. Just me and God alone, through hearing his voice, through seeing these numbers, through trusting in all the messages that he sent me. He's spoken to me before I even knew what a prophetic word was. He was talking to me through the spirit animals, through the toe, like I said. And that started everything. So then again, here come 2021, because I think it was when I was around the time when I was pregnant with her. And like, everything that I'm telling y'all in this book is what has helped me. What has helped me grow my relationship with God, journaling, everything. And I go into a lot about this stuff in here, just a lot. This stuff, removing sex out the picture, all of these things. I actually talk about this stuff all the time to y'all in my videos, but I'm giving people, this is like a manual for you to know everything. Like, it's going into detail about everything. So it's like, I speak about it in general on here, but it really go into depth about things, and it's going to really help you. It's going to catapult you in this season of your life where you're just waiting, or you don't know, you're confused. And sometimes you think you hear from God, sometimes you don't, and you seeking for prophetic words all over the place, and you listening to too many different people. You don't need to listen to nobody but the Lord. And that's been and he will use other people, because we're human. And sometimes we do need that confirmation from somebody else. Like yesterday, I'm telling you, I was really going through, I was mad. I got mad at God. And the other night, I didn't even talk to him. Like, I didn't even talk to him. I said my prayer for my daughter. But the way I usually go into it with God at nighttime, I was like, I'm going to sleep. I was mad at him. So yesterday, this is where humility come in, I'm not even gonna try to get emotional or whatever, but I'm writing this part of my book right now, and you have to, he will send reassurance for you. Like, he knows, like yesterday, because I had a break there. I'm just like mad, because sometimes you do look at other people and you're like, dang, they doing, like, it's just natural for you to see what other people are doing, and then you begin to doubt yourself. And especially depending on your age, depending on if you have kids, the fact that my daughter be praying to God for a car for mommy, that hurts my feelings. Like, because, okay, I'm not going to get emotional in the video. That hurts my feelings, because I take pride in being a great mom. But what even brings me more reassurance is even with my daughter. Like, she's like, mommy, it's okay. Like, she was like, mommy, I love you, mommy. Like, you're a great mommy. I love you, mommy. It's like, she just always reassures me too. But it made me feel bad that my daughter is praying for us to have a car again. I'm tired of having to walk here and do this and take public transportation. with my children. Like, they don't deserve this. And my especially for my oldest daughter, because she never had to experience this before. She has, since she's been born, I had a car. I had a car before she was born. Then I went a little period without one when I was in college, just to stack up my bread, because I was putting too much money in that old car. And then I got another car. Like, I always have done it. And I know that I can still do it now, but I just get mad at God, because I be like, it's because of you. And this is being real with y'all. I'm telling y'all, having a relationship with God is like having a relationship with a real person. It's not going to be fun all the time. You're not going to be happy with him all the time. You're going to be sad. You're going to have the good times, the bad times. But the difference is, that whatever he's doing in your life, whether you taking losses or getting your wins, it's all for a reason. It's to prosper you. It's the plan I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. The things that he's doing is to consecrate you. It's to teach you patience. Because he knows I hate waiting. Like, telling me to wait is very disrespectful to me. I hate waiting. Like, you make me wait. This is why I can't deal with these dudes, because you telling me, you disrespecting me now if you telling me to wait for you to get it together, or just give me more time. I can't stand or just give me more time type. What do you need more time for? But this is all a part of what God is teaching, bless you, is what he's teaching me in this season. So I go through this with God too, because this is why I also know, me getting my relationship with God has helped me understand men better, because I say they act just like God. When you really get to know God, like when you know God for real, you be like, these men, they really was made in his image, bro. They really was made in his image. The way they act, why y'all think so many of them are narcissistic? Because a lot of them have that God complex. A lot of them act just like him. Like, but some of them, they do a lot more of the devil's tactics. Because once again, the devil want God's spot. He wanted the Godhead. That's why he got kicked out. You wanted the Godhead. You wanted his spot. So you do things and try to manipulate, but the devil he wants to counter everything that God does. So he does a lot more manipulation. He manipulates the creation. He manipulates everything, which is why he tries to manipulate our brains, like he manipulated Eve. From the get-go, God told you this, but here come the devil coming in, manipulating, just switching it up and trying to convince you that your gods don't want what's best for you, trying to convince you to go against the promise that God told you, So yesterday, I was just I was mad and I was just having my moment, but through everything, I was like, I'm still going to keep doing what he told me to do. Like, I'm just still going to keep doing what you told me to do. I get mad and upset or whatever, but it's like, I had my moment, and then I just get back to work. Just get back to work. Just get back to reading my Bible. And then sometimes, and of course he's going to send reassurance through the word. And this is what I'm saying. Sometimes he'll use those angel numbers are prophetic numbers, because prophetic angel messengers, prophets are just messengers. Angels are messengers. They do the works of the Lord. So he'll point to it. He'll give you he'll lead me to whatever those numbers is, like right now, 117. So he'll lead me to a Bible verse like Hebrews 11:7. So the number 117 I'm seeing, when I look up the spiritual meaning of it, it's right on track about intuition, about intuitive, just listening to your intuition. And I speak about intuition a lot because I'm very intuitive. I feel everything. Like, I feel everything. I'm not a seer. Like, I don't see things like in the spirit. Everybody has different gifts. We're not all the same. And, a lot of people have dreams, and, I don't have a lot. There are more recently, he will give me some dreams, but most of the time I don't have dreams. My gift is like to be able to feel. I feel. And that's why it's like, I feel breakthrough near. I feel everything that he promised me, because I know what he promised me before I even came to Texas. That's why when I came to Texas, I thought I was going to come to Texas and get rich. I didn't think I was going to go through this whole process. If I would have known I was going to go through all of this, I probably would have never came. Came to Texas, got a new car, then that car ended up getting repossessed, and all of this other stuff. So all in trust in the Lord, because at that time too, God told me, no, you can't get a job. No, you can't go do your little gigs. No, you can't flip no pallets. No, you can't come here and use this money for that. No, you can't come here and do your Amazon FBA business. Like, when I'm telling y'all, when I came here and I had a plan for me coming to Texas, I was into my Amazon FBA thing, and he blocked it. Like, all of a sudden, my Amazon account get locked and secured. I'm like, it got shut down. I'm like, what the heck? But when you have these type of rejections and these type of blocks, it's God trying to detour you, because that's not the way he has for you. Like, he didn't want me coming, taking the money that I had, ordering the stuff, even though there was a whole thing with that. But I had a whole plan for when I came to Texas. I was already talking to my supplier before I came to Texas. I'm like, I'm moving, like, cause everything happened for me in 2 weeks. My life changed in 2 weeks. So, I was already talking to my supplier when I was in Maryland, and I didn't know that I was going to be moving until but I was telling him, like, I'm just waiting, because I was waiting to get my money. At that time, I was waiting to get my tax money so I could go ahead and invest in the product that I wanted, because I had a really good product that was going to be perfect for FBA. And everything got shut down when I got here, and that was nothing but God detouring me. Like, the new lane he had for me, I ain't got to sell no physical product. The ways I used to know how to make money, and that's what I was getting mad about too yesterday. I'm like, dang, I don't have nothing now. Like, normally when I was in Maryland, I always had a way to make money. Like, everything was stressed. Like, I feel like I'm so stripped right now. The only thing I can do is do the works that he want me to do. Because I'm so stripped. I'm stripped from everything that I used to have. I used to have my car, so that was an easy way for me to make money doing my gigs. I had my storage unit where I had stuff that I would sell. I had everything that I would sell, and I always had a way to make money even without working a job. So I always had a way. So now it's different for me, and I get mad because I'm like, I don't even have much to sell. Like, the stuff I used to have, I had phone cases, I had hair. I sold everything in Maryland. I had everything, lip gloss, everything I could sell. I was selling on all my little sites, and Facebook Marketplace was always meeting people and stuff so I could sell products. But this season in my life is like, I'm stripped from everything. I don't got notary no more. Like, everything, every certification, everything I had there in Maryland, I don't have here. Yes, I could like do nails because I know how to do nails, and I can do some hair. Like, not like A1 like some of these people, but I know how to do a lot. So of course I could be using that stuff to make money now. It'd be people that be like, or they be asking about my nails, and then I'd be like, I did it myself. They're like, oh, you do nails? I'd be like, no, I don't do nails. I just do my nails. I don't do hair. I just do my hair and my kids' hair. So it's ways that I can make money, but I don't, because I know that's not my lane. I know that's not what God wants me to do. So it's like trying to be obedient is also feel like I'm taking losses. But when you really think about it, you have to be like, you're not taking a loss, because God is setting you up for something different, because he sees something different for you. He really wants you to live a softer life. And sometimes I feel like this too easy, like, to be on here. And then it's like, even with this stuff, because I'm not making top money yet, I'm not really, everything I'm doing, I'm not really making money from YouTube, from none of these things like that. Like, I'm not making real money. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you pull in this, but nonetheless, I keep building. I keep working. So yesterday, all week, everywhere I've been, I've been seeing 117. I've been seeing the numbers. And then I'll even see the coyote. And this is what I'm talking about, spirit animals. And I have this book about spirit animals, so you can order, or you could just go online, because most of these animals in here, I don't be seeing most of these animals, but I still have ordered it because it really does have right on the money meaning, especially like with the squirrels and coyote. But you gotta pay attention, because even when I was in Maryland, I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, y'all. That's just my brain just be clashing with thoughts. And because I told y'all I don't have a car, so every time I'm walking and I'm getting mad, like, and I don't, especially when it's cold. Like yesterday, I felt good going outside, going for a walk and stuff, because it's hot. Like, well, it's not hot, but it was bomb. It felt so good yesterday. It was like 70 degrees. And it's gonna be nice now. And God knows. And I too have seasonal depression, because I don't like, and that's another reason I'll be mad, because I'm like, why did I even move why am I here? Why do I have to be in Dallas? Like, I like it better in Houston. I like the palm trees. I want to be in the city of palm trees. Like, why did you, like, I be getting mad that I had to move here. Like, even though I love the house, God bless me with the house that we live in. Like, and that's why I do be having to humble myself and be like, Tania, look what you do have though. Look what you do have. This is where humility comes in. It's like, look what he has done for you, though. Look what he has done for you. It was a point where you used to be praying for the house. He blessed you double fold, and you didn't have to qualify for nothing. Like all that, everything that's on your credit, all of this stuff that you thought take a part in it. Like I be having to sit here and humble myself and be like, you mad about not having the money so you could do this and do that you want to do, but not having no money and not having no job still got you into your house. It's still, I didn't have to have none of these things, and God still blessed you with a house. So it's like, look at everything that you have in your house. You didn't have no job. You didn't have much money. Like it just be so humbling when I get out my feelings and stop being stubborn. Humble yourself, repent, and I'll be happy to be like, I'm sorry, God. Like, so I went through all these emotions yesterday. And, I really be going through the emotions when I'm outside walking. I'm getting mad because it's cold. I'm like, I shouldn't have to have my kids in the cold, or I shouldn't be having to do this and do that, because I should have a car. Why don't you want me to have a car? Like, what is up with having a car? Also, too, I know is witchcraft. Also being done on me. Because some people that mad that they can't have no access to you. And even people, like I said, online who are weird. I'm not even really going into this situation with that girl, but if she watching, she know. And it just be online. Even people that you used to be cool with, even your family. I be here, my mama be up here watching. Like you never know. People be sending energy your way and be just trying to spy and see what's going on with you because they don't have access to you. Or even people that don't know you and mad that you wouldn't link up with them through the internet, and they might be mad. So now they feeling this type of way, like that one girl. And that's why God will intuition. God was already like when I got that, like, and this is not everybody because I don't experience this from everybody that I communicate with, like through email and stuff. But when this one person, I felt the vibe off of her. Like, I just felt I can feel it. Like, I can feel, it don't matter if you're 1,000 miles away, if it's through the phone, or I can feel the energy. I can feel my baby daddy energy, and I don't even be talking to him. It's so crazy that the other day, I'm like, this dude, I ain't talked to this dude in a couple months because I cussed him out so bad that last time. And I said, that's it. I'm not talking to you. Like, I'm done. The other day, he, like, out of nowhere, and the same day, I actually sent out a prayer for him. Like, sent out a prayer for him. It was like I was talking to him in the spirit realm. This was so creepy. Like, I'm like, I was like, did he hear me talking in the spirit? Because it was like I was talking directly to him, but not to him. I was just talking in the house downstairs, just talking out loud, talking what I wish would, that he would just get his stuff together. Like, just get the obsession off me and just focus on letting God use him and stop committing blasphemy against the Lord. Stop hating the Lord for everything that has happened and understand what the Lord is doing for you and why he's doing this stuff to you. Why are you paying the price that you're paying? Why your daughter was taken from you? Why I was taken from you? Why everything keeps getting taken from you? You're not trying to understand what he's trying to do for you. You're not understanding the purpose that he has over your life. You're not understanding these things. And because a lot of times, just like him, and like a lot of people, because you're not picking up on what he's putting down because you want to be the victim. But if you understand what he's doing through that situation, I could easily, like, I do too, be mad, like, why are you doing this? Why this? Why that? But then when you humble yourself, this is where humility comes in. When you humble yourself and understand that it's not to hurt you, even though it hurts your feelings right now it hurts your feelings, but it's not to hurt you. I'm like, you got me, without a car and this and that, and my daughter had to do this, but look, he got her a bus. This was when it was hot outside. I'm like, I got mad then too. It keep being the same thing. And one thing about Satan is he knows the areas where to attack you in your life. He comes and attack you in those same areas. This is why we be thinking stuff is like these mental illnesses. No, it's Satan attacking that same area of your life. Whatever you struggle with the most, whatever your insecurities are the most, he's going to attack you in those same areas continuously to make you feel like you ain't nothing. That's why I say I'm back going hard again. Today, February 1st, I'm back on your neck, baby. I told you we don't battle demons, bro. We slay them. I'm here to slay you. You might have won the other day. You didn't even win the whole day, because for me, you can never get all of me. That's why I was thanking God for the weather being good, because that made me feel better. Like, I'm waiting for the spring so bad. My daughter got off the bus yesterday, and she was like, Friday is Groundhog Day, mommy. And that means if the groundhog see his shadow, what is it? If he don't see his shadow, spring starts earlier. It already feel like spring here. So I'm like, it been feeling good these past couple of days. That got me in better spirits. We went outside the past 2 days, and I'm like, I'm getting ready to start going walking again, because I haven't been walking since it got cold. I don't like the cold. That's why I really want to move to Florida, where it's warm all year. I want to be where it's warm all year. That's what I thought I was moving to Texas to do in the first place. Be somewhere where it was warm all year, because I thought it was warm all year here. And it's not. So I was mad about that. And that was part of all my little hissy fit that I had yesterday. And once again, God bring that reassurance. On my page, on everywhere, wherever you are, he gonna send some type of reassurance. It don't matter if you outside by yourself, no phone. That's what he gonna work through a spirit animal. That's what he gonna work through a person. You might see a sign outside. You might see the rainbow. It's a sign of hope. It's a sign of hope. It's a reminder of the promise. It gives you encouragement to remind you that I didn't forget what I said I was gonna do. Just hold on. I'm telling you, all of these are symbolisms. You have to pay attention to the same way the occult, the Satanists, they use symbolism for Freemason, Illuminati, all this and all that. God uses symbolism as well. Everything that the demonic realm do, it's only copying off of the Lord, because God started everything. There's nothing new under the sun. Like in Ecclesiastes says, there's nothing new under the sun. There's a time for a place for everything. It's a time and place for everything. And the enemy will use God's tactics, create his own. God has symbolism. He has workers. He has this. So does the enemy. So you have to be aware of what God's symbolism is and what God is saying, and knowing when it's sent from God. Like I was telling y'all with the coyote, like, it's coyotes out here. And I never saw this. This is what I'm saying, when you got to pay attention to stuff that you ain't never seen before. Or why all of a sudden I'm seeing this? This started for me in Maryland with the toad. Then I started seeing a fox. I was pregnant with my baby. We came out of Chili's. Me and my daughter, my older daughter, I was pregnant with this baby. And we came, like, literally, as soon as we came out of Chili's, this fox just passed the door, like literally that close up on. I was like, what the heck was that? So then a couple days later, I look out randomly, because I just randomly look out the window outside. Like, I'm always in the window. And I'm in the house. I just randomly look out the window. I see that fox again. Then I was getting out the car a couple days after that. I see this fox cross my path. It just keep crossing your path. Pay attention to the stuff that cross your path. Like, it's so you can see, so you can be like, what was that? What was that about? What was this? Become curious. When you're curious about things, ask questions. God, what was that? Get on Google. Ask, what was this? Ask the Lord, what was that about? You have to become curious and ask questions. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open to you. So you have to be willing to ask. You have to be willing to inquire. You have to want to know more to receive more. You know, so I saw the fox, and I'm like, that's when I started looking up that. So that's when I was like, oh, this stuff is real. Spirit animals are real, because I ain't never seen no fox. I don't be seeing that. I see regular cats and squirrels and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, when I started walking at the lake last year, in like May, around April, around, the spring of last year, because that's when I be outside. Because I don't like the summer, and I don't like the winter. I love the spring. The spring is always new beginnings for me. It's always the best time of year for me. And I've noticed that, because now that I reflect, I'm like, over the past couple of years, it's always be the spring where I start getting happy, and where I, do better with my weight. And just be really, because it is a different vibe. Like yesterday, once I went outside, like earlier in the day, I wasn't feeling that good. I just started cleaning up, And, keeping a clean house make me feel better. So I just started cleaning up. And then I was listening to one of my girls, Katroya. I was listening to her. And I love her. So she was saying stuff like God uses her. She's a prophet, but she's not like churchy prophet. She's like my ghetto sis prophet. So I like her. God knows, and this is why he will use anybody. Everybody ain't gonna be with pearls and with this church neck to toe. God know you. He know who he gonna use for you. And this is why people could, talk about my nails. They could talk about my nose ring. They could talk about whatever, but God still chose me. God still will use anybody because he know it's a certain group of his children out here that's only going to receive a message from a certain type of person. The people that's for me, they're going to receive me regardless of that. That might be actually something that they like about me is the little ratchet mixed with some intelligence, that's what they like. My girl, Katroya, she might be ghetto. She ain't even ghetto. I'm not even gonna say she ghetto. She just be cussing and stuff and I cuss still too. I just don't cuss on the camera. Even though I'm working on it a little bit. It's just hard. And I actually kind of like cussing. So that's one of my sins that that's a struggle for me. But people be trying to talk about her but she has a big audience. She got like 70,000 something subscribers. People love her. But you got this couple people who be like, oh, if you could just stop cussing so much. But the people that's for her is for her. And God is still using that girl to help out his people because he know there's a group of people that like ratchet stuff. He know it's a group of people that like that stuff. Everybody is not, even with me, I realized that when I was on my journey with the prophetic words, like I do like listening to some holiness, but some people who I don't like that because that's not me. I don't relate to it. People like to be relatable with all God's children. First of all, none of us are perfect. So he know that you gravitate more towards this because he knows his children. This is why I say everybody is not for everybody. And this is why even if he's calling you, you got to stop being worried about what you don't have, what you don't do, that you're not like this person. You don't speak like this person. You don't look like that person. Because God chose you for a reason, because there's going to be an audience that can receive you that can't receive them. There's an audience. Some people don't like me. I don't like listening to all prim and prepper stuff all the time because that's not me. I know who I really am. I like having my moments of, etiquette and professionalism. I know how to be professional because it's a job. It's a position at the end of the day. But at the same time, I know me too. I still like ratchet stuff, period. It don't mean that I'm involved into everything that's ratchet, but I still do like ratchet stuff. Like, that's just what it is. I like slang. I speak slang still. That's who I am. And over time, if it's in God's will, that stuff will be removed. But as of right now, baby, that's what it is. And God knows that there's a group out here for everybody, especially when he's trying to get to what? Lift it up. She's so dramatic. Like, she be doing stuff and just want. The iPad fell on her neck. Mind you, all you have to do is lift it up. But she want me to get up and come and do everything. She comes to me, hair. She do not like hair. So a little piece of hair be on her hand. She come up, Mommy. I be like, girl, just take it off with your other hand. But anyways, y'all, God know who is who. He know who his children are. He know that there's a group of people like that type of stuff. And there's a group of people who don't like that type of stuff. And that's why he'll create people. That's why you just have to do you. Be authentic to who you are. Trust in what God is doing for you. Show up, because what you think that people are not going to receive you, they very much so will receive you. There's people that's out here that's waiting on somebody that's just like you because you're relatable to who they are. So back to like the coyote. So I was going for walks and stuff, and I started seeing the coyote. Like, for the first time, I got scared about it. So of course I get on Google coyote. First of all, I didn't even know what that was. I knew it wasn't a cat because it was too big. I knew it wasn't a dog, but I thought it was like a wolf or coyote. Then I looked up wolf in Texas. Like, And then I saw stuff about coyotes, and then I see that coyote. So it actually is a coyote, not a wolf or not a fox. I think that's what I was looking at, fox, because the fox that I saw in Maryland looks different than that thing. And it's this coyote. So now I see him every time when I'm outside walking on this. I see him in the same spot. And I actually have a video up here where I was walking, coming back from the track, and I was coming home that time, and I saw the coyote over here. It's by my house. It's always by my house. And even a couple of weeks ago, when I was going for a walk back out here, and the FedEx truck, he was like, he backed up and came and told me, he was like, it's a fox right here. He was like, I don't know if you scared of that, but don't go down here. It's a fox or whatever. I was like, all right, thank you for warning me about that. But I'm not scared of it no more, because I be real close up on it now. Like, and he just go on about his business. Like, but God allows me to see him. He brings him across my path when I'm having those. It be right when I'm feeling. Okay, wait a minute, baby. Wait, go on. It be right when I'm having those moments of uncertainty, of doubt, of getting mad, getting sad about my process. He allowed this coyote to show up to be a sign of just stay the course. Greatness is coming. Stay the course. I'll see a dead crow. I be like, why am I seeing this dead, bro? Like, it just be across my path. Then it was one point where feathers. I'm like, everywhere now. And then now when I think about it, now I haven't seen no feather in so long. But at this one period, the feathers just kept on dropping. Like, well, they wasn't necessarily dropping out the sky at the time, but I'm like, why is feathers everywhere I go? I see a feather on the ground. I see feathers on the ground. It got to a point, me and my daughter was collecting them because we were seeing them. Now we don't see no feathers no more. Because different symbolism is different messages for whatever that point in time is, whatever you need reassurance with, whatever you need correction with, whatever you need just understanding with, he's going to give you that. And then, lately with this, I guess this past week, he really want me just to listen to what I already know in my feelings. And I really think it's about a lot of things, but especially about that ex. Because it just weird. And then even like the other day, like, people can sense your energy. Like, people can really feel. I really am starting to believe, like, people see the light. They really must see the light. I went to the park the other day, and mind you, this is the same day that out of nowhere, my baby daddy called. Like, I'm just like, he's definitely a warlock. Like, I know he's a witch or a warlock, a wizard. He is a wizard. He definitely dabbles in dark magic, and that's why these spells and stuff that he be sending, it'd be doing nothing but backfiring on him. Because I'm like, what's the odds? And that same day, as soon as I got to the park, this lady, it was this Hispanic lady, she was just like, she was staring at me. Soon as I walked up, I looked over there, she was just staring at me. And this one was like, it was like a demon type of stare. Like, she was just like I'm like, and I'm like, because people stare a lot. But this stare was like intense. And I'm staring back at her. I'm like, and then I just looked away. I'm like, what was that about? And then that night, I came home and I was scrolling on TikTok. This dude, when they was talking about witchcraft or something. And so the dude was talking about, witchcraft. And he was like, he was like something about somebody. He was like, you could be at the park and somebody just staring at you. I'm like, come on now. Why did I just go through this today? That's what I'm saying. God will use anybody. You be scrolling on your timeline. You'll be looking at something. It'll be a message. Just like yesterday. I mean, it's so, I could go on and on and on. On and on every day, my encounters. Whether it's reassurance from the word, because my girl Malika, she do fashion or whatever, and I be, looking at her, and she just became like a pastor and stuff too. But she still mostly posts her fashion stuff. But in between her photos, she'll put like a scripture sometimes or like a little word. She gonna throw a good word in. And she put the Bible verse up there about it was Luke 145. Basically about blessed is she who believe in the promises of God that God told her, something like that. I'll put it up here. And I was like, come on, God, talk about reassurance. Like, it's just a reminder, like, stay true, stay down. I told you what I was going to do for you. I told you what I was doing for you. It ain't all you ain't seeing everything yet because you don't need to see everything. You don't need to know everything, Miss Know It All. You don't need to. Just trust me. You don't gotta know the whole plan. Just trust me. Remember how you had to trust me for where you at now? Trust me again with this next season of your life. Trust me again. Trust me. I got you. I know what you need. I got you. Like, just wait. Cause just like for this, sometimes what he got for you, he want to over deliver for you. So sometimes it's not ready for you yet. He ain't trying to just send you anything. He want to send you a God thing, not a good thing. He want to send you a God thing, not a good thing. And you know it's God because of the detail. He is so detailed. I'm a very detailed person. He is so detailed. And man, I'm just telling you, yesterday was it's always like this. Like I said, with the coyote, and I always see, and this is why I say you got to pay attention to what you was just praying about, or what you was just mad about, or sad about, whatever the emotion, whatever it is at that particular time, where you see these numbers, where you see these animals, where you see these messages, where you see just that word, you got to pay attention to what your emotion and feeling was right before you saw it. Because that's what it's coming up to convey a message about, that feeling, that emotion, that right there. That's what it's coming up to do. You need to stop. So, look, now, here, go on. Get out. All right, y'all. I'm sorry, because this baby keep on interrupting me. But all of these, like, it's always symbolism, like, and it's always at the right time. And I can always tell because it's based on what I'm feeling. And I hadn't seen numbers for a minute. It's been a minute since I was seeing numbers. But lately, I started seeing 333 a lot. And even so, like I said, you go to Ezekiel or different, it's different Bible verses he might take you to, but he will communicate. God will communicate through anything. Of course, the primary source that you want to always go to is his word, because it really speaks to you. And even sometimes I be like, I don't care. I don't even care, because even me doing my post that I be doing, because I do post about this stuff, like do my Bible verses on my Bible verse little page, and because I'm building that up. And even I was doing one, and I'm reading my own post, and I'm like, I'm talking right to me. The stuff that I'm telling other people, it's actually speaking to me in this moment right now, because of now I'm feeling this emotion again. And so that's why a lot of times the guidance I give is because I'm living it. And then I'll come to that Bible verse, and then I'm like, all right. I'll be like, all right. But sometimes my stubbornness, I'll be like, man, I don't care. I'm tired of hearing this. I just want it to come. I just want this. So this journey, I'm telling you, having a relationship with God, baby, it's going to be up and down too. It's more good than bad, though. It's more good than bad, because even the bad is working out for your good. Nothing is really bad with God. Nothing is really bad with him. It's all working out for your greater good. And that's what you have to understand. It might seem like it's bad, but it's not. It's working out exactly the way it's supposed to. It's only to give a testimony for you to show the glory of God by the time you get out the end of that. That's what it's all done. Every bad thing you go through in your life, that's why you can't really have that shame and guilt and wanting to be, nah. You feel relieved when you speak up about it. It's other people out here who can relate to you. I don't care how grimy the thing is. You think you're the only person out there that did that. Do you really think you're the only person out here that did that? First of all, when you get to reading this, some of these laws that he didn't put in place, some of the things that he be saying, he only saying it because he know there's a multitude of people that has done it and is going to do it. So that's why the law is there in place. He ain't speaking to just no one person. So you having shame. No, your story is going to help somebody else. Your testimony is going to help somebody else. There's somebody else out there right now that's in my same situation. You might not have a car. You might not have a house. You might be homeless. You might be in a shelter. It's somebody else going through that too. Or even if they ain't going through it right now, little do they know that season is upon them. And they're going to need to use your story and use your videos and use your word and use your words of encouragement to help them through that. You know? Because a lot of times we don't understand the stuff that we go through, baby. You don't be expecting this. Who could have told me at 30 years old I would have went through this season that I just went through and still going through. I thought at 30 I was going to be rich. And it's so funny. Even the little TikTok I came across the other day, the little young girl, she was 19 and she was piggybacking off of another girl's video who was 29. And it's like we all go through this midlife crisis when we about to turn 30. Because I went through it just in September when I turned 30. My daughter's best friend's mom, she just went through it when she was about to turn 30 in November. I'm like, this is what we go through because we have expectations for ourselves that we're going to hit by 30 and by this these different milestones that we expect to reach by this age and by this age and by this age. And when we don't hit it, or when life is not what we thought it would be by that age, we get mad, we get sad, we get depressed, but not realizing because a lot of stuff that we're doing is because that's what our plan was, but it wasn't what God's plan was. And this is why we finding ourselves in these funks, falling into depression, having these crises, because we going off of our own understanding and not God's understanding. And that's where we do ourselves a disservice. And that's where we will cause ourselves to fall into depression and have anxiety because fear of the unknown. When you truly trust in the Lord, when you truly trust in Him, depression, you're going to beat that. Anxiety, you're going to beat that. These mental illnesses, you're going to beat that. Because sometimes, I told y'all like last year that I have BPD. I haven't went and got diagnosed like with it, but I read the manual. Like, I already just know, I know me. And sometimes I be like, this is, it's conflicting self-images of yourself. Like, some days I feel like I'm the ish. Some days I feel like I ain't nothing. But that's nothing but the devil. And like I told y'all earlier in the video, the devil, all these illnesses, it's the devil's tactics on what works on you. It's how he works through you. He knows he can work on me through the same criticism over and over again about my weight, because that's something that I've always battled with. He can use the thing about my money because he knows that that's something that I care about, because I want to be stable. He knows what you want. So he knows what to work against. He knows where to throw them blocks in. He know that he can't really tempt me at this point with like sex and stuff. Like, you can't tempt me with that. But if your struggle area is lust, he gonna always throw something in your way when it comes to lust. If he know you battle a certain addiction to smoking, drinking, he gonna always try to tempt you with that. Even with the weed, like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I miss smoking weed. Like, he be trying to get you to go back. I'll be like, I miss smoking weed. And I don't know, I wish I could, but then, and this is how gutter he get with it. You'll be just walking outside, all of a sudden you smell some weed. Like, where I smell that at? Like, I don't see nobody smoking it, but I smell it. Or somebody might end up walking past who smell like that. It'll be some type of seed that he'll try to sow to get you to go back to things that you're delivered from or prayed your way out of or are trying to change from. He'll get you to go backwards towards that. Even though I do be still feeling like weed is not bad. But I know that still is going backwards. Like, because a lot of people idolize weed and idolize sex and everything, which I go into in my book. So this will be dropping soon. So make sure y'all I'll let y'all know when it's available. Because I'm still doing I'm almost finished. And then I gotta just do some editing and stuff to it to do some finalizing. So that'll be available soon, but he knows where your areas are. And this is why God will use his angels to show up, whether it's his angels, the prophets, they're messengers of the Lord. Prophetic words are messages from the Lord. It's them being the vessel. They're the middleman, because God is up on his throne. He just up on his throne watching everything. He see everything. And then he sends his worker, all right, you go to that child, you go to that child, you go here, you do. Everybody have assignment. It's really levels. The seraphims, the cherubims, the thrones, dominions, virtues, powers, archangels, angels. It's all hierarchy. These are assigned to protect special places. These are assigned to oversee humanity. Everybody has a position. Why do you think in the regular world? That's why I say everything in the world stems from the Lord. In your jobs, how there's a department for this, a department for that, a department to handle this, a department to handle escalations, a department to handle customer service, a department to handle billing, a department to draft up the plans. It's departments for everything. God's kingdom works the same way. He is the ultimate businessman. He's the CEO. He's the creator. He's the founder of the business. Now he put somebody in executive like control, where that way he ain't got to be doing all that. He just doing the brainstorming behind the scenes. He just doing the big dog stuff. And he got his little men, everybody up under him, carrying out his assignment. And that's why I say, as the chosen one, you all the way at the bottom. You're an earth angel. You're the one here in the flesh that helped carry out his mission, carry out his assignments, like all the prophets in the Bible. And even people who aren't prophets, but they too serve a purpose. Everybody serves a purpose here. Everybody. Even the kingdom of darkness. The kingdom of darkness, Satan and his little demon seeds, they serve a purpose. And oftentimes their purpose is to catapult you into your purpose. Because like I told you, that's why you never be mad about the evil that people has done to you, because that's going to give you the wisdom that you need, because that experience, now you're going to be able to get up here and help somebody else who's struggling with that. Now you have experience in that. So now you can speak confidently, boldly about that thing to help other people. Why y'all think like people talk about narcissism a lot? Because people been through narcissism. So now they can help you understand when you are being manipulated. Help you understand that you grew up in a narcissistic family, that you have narcissistic parents and narcissistic siblings, to help you. So evil, they say angel numbers is evil, new age artists, God will use whoever and whatever to get you where you need to be. Because if it wasn't for what I perceived as evil that my baby daddy did, if it wasn't perceived as evil, the things that I feel like my family has done, if it wasn't that stuff, I wouldn't be here now into my purpose, the one thing that they were trying to prevent me from, because they already see it. Especially, I told you, that baby daddy of mine, because really, he's a chosen one. He really is a chosen one. But see, what happens is when you let the things that happen, the evil that's done to you, you can either let it make you or break you. And for him, those people that like to play the victim, these dark empaths, because he's like a dark empath. He can feel too. This is why I really be like, this is why I got to go so hard on spiritual warfare type of prayers, because I know that I had a baby with a warlock. And that he already saw things before me. Like some of the stuff, that's how you know it's a spiritual thing. Because some of the stuff, I be like, bruh, how do you know this? What are you, like, you're literally a monitoring spirit. Like, I really can speak to you without speaking to you in the spirit room and not ever have to pick up the phone and talk to you on the phone. It's so crazy. It's weird. This whole thing still be weird to me sometimes, because I'm like, how is this real? He even know. And that's why I know you have to, you got to, because you never know who's working against you, because people be mad that they can't come with you, but they see your future. When you was a little baby as a chosen one, they saw it from when you was a little baby. Because like I said, like in Jeremiah, before he formed you in the belly, before you was formed in your mama womb, I knew you and I ordained you to be a prophet amongst the nations. So before you even came out the cooch, you already was anointed. You came out with a bright light on you. So your whole life, the enemy been working to dim that light so that you can never get into your purpose, to expose the dark side, to expose all the evil you went through, to help other people who are now going through that evil stuff too. This is why you must get out of your own way and stop being afraid to speak up. You must pay attention to what God is doing for you. You must get into isolation and let him do his big one on you. Let him do his real work on you. Let him do it. Because it's only going to help you. A lot of your prayers, you're in your own way, because you won't get out your own way. You won't listen to, you won't be obedient. and do what he's telling you to do. And disobedience is sin. It's the top sin. It's the top sin. All this other stuff, like I said, I'm still studying a lot of stuff, but we're going to get into some of this other stuff. Like, I don't see a lot of this. I see a lot of what other stuff that he's talking about in this Bible about what sin truly is. So we'll be talking about that stuff obviously later on, but you got to pay attention to people. Like, spirits are trying to work against you, and the enemy, like I said, he uses. And once you get familiar with it, you understand. Sometimes you still fall victim to it. Like my whole meltdown yesterday, I already knew what it was, but I still was just feeling the emotion about it, just mad, and then it just be them voices that you hear inside, and then things that's coming up, and you feel like I don't have this, I don't have this is not. But then it's like, girl, it's like you do. This is why I say we do have to remember what I did for you before. Just like God had to constantly remind the Israelites, remember that I freed you from slavery. So if I did that, why do you think I won't do this? If I did that last thing, and that was a big thing, or even if it was a small thing, why do you not think I'm going to do this next thing? And that's what I be having to remember about this. I'm like, girl, he got you a whole house with no pay stubs, evictions on your credit. Credit is in hell. And that just be another thing, because I be like, man, just thinking back to everything that I have worked towards. And that's what I was talking about with the little 19-year-old, because, we be having expectations of where we're going to be. And I would have never thought that I would be here at 30. I thought I was going to be rich now with all my credit cards that I want to have, and all my business credit and this and that. And everything that I was working on was building. I just be like, dang, I just feel like I left a whole lot behind in Maryland. I just feel like everything, like, it's like I'm starting from the bottom again. Like, I feel like, and that's why I was crying about Matt. I'm like, I'm just tired. I feel like I'm always trying to build a platform. I'm always, because at that time I'm building up my little phone cases page, and I started getting a little buzz. Then I had to shift my whole life, started building up this, started getting a little couple views on this, and then it's like, it's me time to shift. Start making money in this lane. Dang, they shut me down. I just was like, dang, I was really running it up one of them cases, and I'm like, they shut me down. All right. Then I start this. I'm trying to do the Amazon thing now. This gets shut down. I'm like, what the heck? But rejection is God's protection. It's not a loss. He's detouring you. He's taking you on a detour. You was trying to go this way. It's a bunch of head that's not even for you, that's not meant for you to see, that's not meant for you to do. That's not the way for you to go. So let me take you on a detour. Take you off this route, put you on a new one. Like my man Lucci say, had to change a plan on the way up. You was on one plan. Now God had to come in and change the plan. Now you back on the way. You back on the way up. You thought you had fell down. You thought you was taking an L, but nah, it was just a shift. It's a change in the play. It's been a plan to change. It's been a change of plans. Now we gotta go to plan B, plan C, plan D. Change of plans. Like, and when you really understand this about life, that's literally all it is. And you can be expecting, because at 21, I've been focused on trying to get my credit together since 21, because I knew, like, my mom always had bad credit and stuff. This not just to talk about her or nothing, but when we have the things that our parents do or don't do, we either want to, imitate it and do that same thing, duplicate it, or we either want to do something completely different because we see what didn't work for our parents. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just like with my children, there's going to be things that they see that worked for mommy that they might want to do. And there's going to be things that didn't work for me and they want to do something different, in which I want them to do, because I want them to be better. You're supposed to want your kids to be better than you. You want to pass the baton and let them flourish. You don't want to pass the baton and let them dwindle. You don't want them to start going downhill. You want them to take the good things that you did, catapult and grow exponentially off of that. But the bad things, you want them to grow and do better than you did in that area as well. We don't want to keep passing down pain, suffering, torture, struggle to the next generation. Nah, we want them to prosper. Our children are the future for real. And this is why it's important for us to do the work that we need to do, so that we're not passing on this stuff to our children. But like I was saying with the girl, and she was like, yeah, because at 19, you thinking, because I was thinking that too. I'm like, at 21, I'm like, I'm about to be this, but I'm not. No, I'm about 30. I'm going to have this, that. Child, you say what you going to have, and then life hits you. Because especially if you don't have God at the forefront, he going to make sure some stuff hits you because he got to get your attention. He going to make sure some stuff happen. Even when you are good, even when you do got a close relationship, stuff still going to happen. There's continuous things that's going to happen. I was praying for that. I'm just like, God, when is it going to be my season to have just like I want just like at least like a 6-month winning streak at least, like where I'm prospering in this. I feel like everything that I want for myself, it's like it's never happening at the same time. I had it happening a little bit in like 2020, well 2019 to 2020 because I lost my weight. My money is stacking money. My credit was things were finally lining up. The money was coming in. That money I was making that money. The credit, I had got my credit together. My weight was up. I was feeling myself doing it. I ain't gonna lie, I was feeling myself. I definitely was feeling myself. So I think back about that a lot, and I be like, I need me a winning streak again. Like I want everything to be in motion. But sometimes we be having these plans and, like, I'm going to have this. I'm going to be married by this time. Or, because a lot of the young girls, they be like, I'm going to be doing this. And then you see the people on Instagram, on TikTok, and they be like 35, 40. And they be like, oh, I thought I was going to be this by this age. And I thought I was going to be doing this. And it's never what we thought it was going to be, because it's not about what you think your life is going to be, because you didn't create your life. God created you. And when he created you, he already had a story written for you. So when you get here and you start doing things that's not completely in the plan for you, he's going to shift you. And even when you get yourself into stuff, he knows how he's going to use that situation to catapult you into your next. So he knows what he's doing. But he will use, even in the Bible, if you see how when Abraham had a promise, and him and Sarah got in the way. They like, God said that you're going to be a father of many nations, yet I have not bear no children yet. So let me give you my handmaid. Let me give you my maid. Let me give you my servant and let you have kids with her. Maybe that's what he's saying. That's how you're going to become a father of many nations. But that's not what God said. He said, no, you, Sarah, are going to carry a baby for this man. But you get in the way. We get in our way because we be like, nah, I just need to help God make this happen faster. I need to help God make this happen faster. So let me do this and let me do that. And then all we do is just prolong the process. We add things in the situation that they ain't never had to get in there, taking more ills and causing more strife. Now look, Ishmael then came, and then when Isaac finally came, now it's friction between the brothers, and now Abraham had to suffer because he had to send his own son off. He loved Ishmael too because that's his son. That was his son. He loved Ishmael too, but that was not the promised child. And even when he sent Ishmael off, God said, you didn't put this baby in the play. He wasn't supposed to be in the play because you just couldn't sit and be patient and wait on me. But guess what? I know you worried about this boy because this is your first son. It's your first son. I'm still gonna make him a great nation. He's still gonna be a prince. He gonna have 12 princes too. He gonna be a ruler too. He gonna be a king too. He gonna be good. We get ourselves into these situations and then it'd be like, because we be trying to help God with the plan. Only thing you need to help God with, only way you help God is by being obedient to what he told you to do. That's the only way you help him. Trying to do other things, well, I'm gonna just do this. Maybe that'll make it happen. Maybe I can help God move faster. No. What God needs you to do is get out his way, do what he told you to do so you can get out his way. Because when you don't be obedient and do what he told you to do, you get in his way and then you prolong the process. You prolong the process because you're in his way now. That's why he needs you to be obedient. He told you, go sit down and do this. Go sit down and do this. Don't get in his way. But like with that girl, and she was saying, I'm like, girl, you saying this, you don't know what's gonna happen by the time you turn 30. You think, because you think you on the right path. I'm like, and that's what I thought. At 25, I was like, my head is good, my head on straight, But then once again, and the number one way that the devil slipped in, and for men and women, he uses the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever you into, he uses love to definitely trip you up, because most of us get tripped up the most in our life when we think we done fell in love, when we think we done found the little boo thing, when we think now you done found the boo thing, you don't know, that person might bring you illness. That person might bring you true danger to yourself, even, through physical abuse and through physical violence, and that might set you back. You might end up in a dang on hospital. You might end up unalive. You might end up with some illness because of this fool, because of this, So you gotta understand that when you on your narrow path, you definitely, when you trying to do good, that's why all the time you be like, I'm trying to do good. And then the enemy want to get you off that path. So he will throw in a distraction. And when you go and when you, succumb to that distraction, whatever come along with it. And it might sometimes impede the plan. And God still will have to use that situation. Because when you focus, and that's why I realized for me, a lot of times when I'm not dealing with nobody, like when I don't have no friends and when I don't got no man, I'm so tunnel vision, so focused. But as soon as especially depending on who you let around you, if you got friends that come into your life and they're not really like you mentally, like they're not on the same plan, but you just want somebody to hang out with sometimes, or you just, just want to have something to do when there's nothing to do, get to messing with these dudes because you're bored, because you are so tunnel vision, and now it's just like, all right, it's all work all the time. I need a little bit of fun. Let me go see what this dude talking about. Let me go chill with him. Let me go chill with these girls. Let me go do this. And then you end up getting attached. And now you sucked into that. And then you so focused on that you ain't focused on what you need to be focused on no more. And then you get it'll derail you. But this is why God will come in, he will intervene, and something will happen, and you may think it's evil and demonic. This person did this to me, they did that. And now you had to get sat down, whether you ended up in jail, ended up in the hospital, ended up pregnant, like in my case. Even though, like I said, I wanted my baby. Like, I definitely wanted a baby. But it's just like, I also knew too, I was like, dang, I knew that that's, a lot of women think that. That's why a lot of women end up getting abortions, because they like, this is going to throw me off. I ain't going to be able to do this. I'm just now starting this job. I'm just now starting this business. I'm just now doing this. But we ain't killing blessings just to please the public. Because people be like, I'm not this. I didn't. Y'all know, people I done heard all type of stories. People be married and then they still legally married, but then they get with a guy or a girl and end up getting that person pregnant, and then they be hearing backlash from their family. And, we be worried about what the outsiders got to say. So we be like, let me just go take this. Or we be worried about what's going to mess up our money and stuff because we ain't ready, because this and that. And all. But God know what he's doing. He need them children here, because they got to carry out the future for his plan, because it's not about what we want. And when we learn to humble ourselves and understand that it's not about what you want, if what you want is not in alignment with what God wants for you. It's not about us. He created humans. Ain't because we say that we want to come here. He wanted humans to be on this earth, to carry out a mission that he wants, to fulfill his plan, to fulfill his vision. Because he the one had the first vision. If I create this world, create this earth, create this in it, I'm going to need to put this in it, that in it. It's to show his glory. It's to just show his sovereignty. So overall, this video, y'all, it was really just to let y'all know, like, God will use anybody and everything. Good, bad, numbers, animals, people, symbols, whatever he got to do to get your attention, boo. That's what he gonna do. I told y'all, even when I was, getting a feeling that I'm gonna be moving. Even once I already moved to Houston. We only stayed in Houston for 4 months. I'm like, I come to Houston, get evicted. Like, everything was good in Maryland. I came to Texas, I get a repossession. I get evicted. I'm in a shelter here. I'm carless here. Yet, that's why I be getting mad. I be like, I did everything you say. I done did a lot of changes. I done did this. I done did that. You still, when is the promise gonna come. I know you told me the promise before I even left Maryland. That's what even got me here. When I used to just be talking out loud, I didn't even really know I was talking to God at first. I just talked to myself. Like, some people are writers, some people are talkers. Me, I'm a talker. I don't talk much when I'm around other people, but when I'm by myself, I talk nonstop. I know my daughter gonna grow up one day and be like, my mom, all she do is talk to herself in the house. But that's just how I help myself. That's how that's how I heal. That's how I get through things. I have to talk. I ain't gotta necessarily talk to a person. I just gotta talk about it. I just be talking. And that's what I realized stuff started happening. And I'm like, dang, somebody's listening. Somebody is listening. God was listening the whole time. That's why we have to pray. Why do y'all think there's a power in prayer? You got to talk. You got to let it out. You got to voice your needs, voice your concerns. God knows what you need, but he wants to hear it. He wants to hear it right from the horse's mouth. He wants to hear you. Closed mouths do not get fed. He needs to hear you so he can redeem you. He needs to hear those cries. Those cries is music to his ears. It's to know that, hey, when we hear our baby crying, what does that do? It signifies that they need something. They're crying. It's a cry for help. You need something. When you're crying, you need something. So then we get to the baby and we check, are they wet? Are they hurt? Are they bleeding? Like, oh, they need this. Like, as a mom, your baby, even if the baby's got certain cries, your baby's cry. Oh, this cry, okay, my baby need this. God, when we cry certain cries, he know what we need. He know what we need. He will send that reassurance for you. I'm telling you, look, 117 right here. Like, 117, like, it's crazy. I'm telling you. It's just so amazing. And this is what love is. When you looking for y'all, we be looking for love in all the wrong places, baby. We be looking for love through materialistic things, trying to fill voids, thinking that money gonna make you happy. Now, money do help some things, and money can give you materialistic things. They're just temporary satisfactions. Because when you think about it, you'll be happy about this thing. You bought a new pair of shoes. You're happy about it today, but a couple days from now, especially after you do the first wear, you ain't that worried about it no more. It's not that joyous to you no more. Like, that's why we constantly seeking things. But the one thing that will really fill you up is the Lord. I'm telling you, because even when I have my moments, once I come back down, once I, kill off that ego, just humble myself and be like, look, bruh, look around you, first of all. That's what I had to do yesterday. And then I went outside. I'm like, thank you, God, for the weather. It's like, you do hear my cries. You hear me complaining about the weather. You hear me. You know me. I went outside. I felt so good these past 2 days. Well, really yesterday. But the other day it felt good too. But I was like, it feels so good out here. And it was my perfect weather. Like, it feel like nothing outside. It ain't hot. It ain't cold. It just feel like, I just love that weather. What, baby? All right, I'm coming. And he know what you need. I said, thank you, God. You heard me complaining. Come on, stop. I'm like, you heard me. You know I need this new weather. And that's why he even trying to get me right. Like, you keep saying you want to do this and do that. When the season change, all right, you need to get right. You need to get right. Don't get the emotional eating and all of that stuff, because that's only setting you back. You have goals, but yeah, you keep doing stuff. Keep letting the devil trick you through planting these seeds in your head. And then when you get the feeling like this, now you want to go to emotional eating. You don't need to go emotionally eating. You don't need to keep feeding that. That's the number one way Satan works through us. It's through the food. The food that is actually out here hurting us more than it is helping us. Temporarily it feel good, but it make you sick. It make you gain weight. So overall, you guys, just pay attention. Pick up on what God putting down. He gonna talk to you through a variety of means. And that's what I was saying about the shirt. I told you once before that the shirt, when I knew to move to Dallas, because my girl, the prophetic word Shanti, I was watching her. And it ain't even like that. I stopped watching a lot of prophetic words because I don't want to rely on other people. And then sometimes I be feeling like a lot of these prophetic words are just like feel good words, but everything ain't always about necessarily feeling good. And sometimes I feel like a lot of it is just like, it's just to fill you up with hope, which is what ultimately that's what we want to do, give each other hope, but it's also to be real. So that's why I don't really listen to a lot of prophetic words, because a lot of times people not giving you the real instruction that you need. They're not letting you know that there's things that you too have to do during that waiting season. It's not just about sitting around praying, hoping, but yet you get from watching a video and then you go back to doing stuff that God is trying to take you away from. And so that's why I just like, all I need is the Lord. And a lot of these things has led up to this, but now the way I don't have to rely on that. Now he still uses things, because when you on social media, you gonna come across some people post, and that right there, he'll be using that person to send you a message. Like, it don't even matter. Like, he will send a message using anybody. Like I said, her shirt that day had said Dallas on it. I was like, all right, so I'm really am moving to Dallas. And before I even left, I was selling stuff to people that, and I was telling them that I'm moving. That's why I'm selling my stuff. And I was meeting people, and they were saying, I'm gonna be moving to Dallas. They said, yeah, I'm moving to Dallas. I was like, oh, really? I'm going to Houston. And little did I know that's ultimately where he was going to be taking me. But just like the Israelites, he had to take them here first. Then they had to go to this city. They had to move around just to get to the promised land. You stay here for a little bit. You stay here for a little bit. That's why I say I really feel like I'm on this journey. Like the people in the book, I'm really living this, because he be moving me here. Then you move me here. Then you move me here. Now I'm here. I done been all over Dallas. I done been all over Houston. I done been all over Dallas and Houston just through my journey. And that's what I be thinking about too. Get mad sometimes. I'm like, I just sit and reflect on how our journey has been, how unstable it has been. When I'm like, all I'm craving is, Sonari, stop acting like you snoring. All I crave is stability. And it's like, that's the one thing that it seems like it's the hardest to obtain, when that's the one thing that I have been craving, that I have been praying for, manifesting since I was 21. Like, just wanting to do right. Even I'm like, I didn't went to school, and even in school, like I never have mentors. I just do what I know I need to do. Like, I got through my whole college, like I ain't never see an advisor or nothing. I got that piece of paper that told me what classes I needed to take for every semester, and I got that in the beginning when I first got to school. I did it. I chose all my classes. I did everything. So it's like I never really need. Everybody needs like a coach or a mentor or something. But for me, God is my best one. Now, and there's other areas like, on a business tip where even he leads with that. But it's other like fleshly people out here that he going to put in your way to teach you this. Like to teach you about social media, to teach you how to build, to teach you how to just do different things. So he will put those people in your path. But ultimately, you go to the Lord first and let him bring somebody that's for you. He will put the person that is designed to be your mentor, because a lot of times we do think that I don't need nobody, I don't need no help, but you need the Lord. And then he knows that there's somebody out there that is more specialized in something than you, that can help aid you till you get to a point where you're independent in it. And then you can flourish. But he don't want you to become heavily dependent on nobody but him. And when you become too heavily dependent on these people, he will remove them. So you never get to a point where you heavily dependent on them and you get to idolize them, because now he gotta remove them. And that's what times people would do with prophetic words. You become too heavily relied on it. Go plug it up. You'll become too heavily reliant on it, and I told y'all once before, I used to be really heavy into astrology. That's all I used to watch, I used to be really heavily reliant on that about my career, because I've been so like career driven, just wanting to, find my career. And, God knows whatever area it is that you pressed about. And he don't want you to idolize nothing. He don't want you to idolize careers, money, love. Like, he knows you need all these things. Like it says in Matthew chapter 6. I know you need all these things, for your heavenly Father knows you need all these things. He know what you need. He know what you're lacking, but he wants to fill every last void that you have. He wants it to be filled up with his love. And when you fill it up with his love and him first, all right, he gonna give you that other stuff. But he wants you to choose him first. That's what he wants you to do. You know, so I didn't mean to make this video this long. I'm glad my microphone lasted for this long. But overall, you guys, trust what God is doing for you. Pay attention to repetition. Whatever keep coming across you, even repetition in your own life, especially if it's repetition that is leading to unfavorable results, unfavorable circumstances, you want to pay attention to that and do some evaluation. And you have to make the changes. God is not going to bless no mess, and he's not going to bless you with things just for you to lose it. He don't want you to have to keep taking those L's. But if you don't learn the lessons that you need to learn, if you won't get rid of the people that he know is waiting for you to come into that success, for you to come into that love, whatever it is that you're praying for, it's certain people that is going to help destroy that very thing that you pray for if you don't get them from around you. If you don't get rid of your own toxic behaviors, that is going to be self-destructive. Period. Because we be having a lot of self-destructive, self-sabotaging ways. And I told y'all, like, that's what I tell y'all, like, I identify with having BPD because it's a lot of self-destructive behaviors that come in with that, like with being impulsive. And we do a lot of impulsive things. Binge eating is like the number one way that I self-destruct. Binge eating. When you know better, but them emotions be coming over you. And this is why a lot of us have to practice emotional intelligence. This is very hard, especially when you grow up in a narcissistic family dynamic. You have to learn how to understand yourself, understand your emotions, why you're feeling that way. Like, you have to really get deep into yourself. And this is what I love the most about the spiritual journey, is because it allows you to really connect, get to know yourself, understand, why do I do this? How can I stop doing this? What is it going to take for me to make the changes that I need to make so that this won't keep happening? And the number one thing is learning about spirituality. Learn that there is a dark force. We're not battling against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness, what does it say? Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Let's see if we can flip to it. But we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness, against spiritual wickedness in higher places. Here, Ephesians right here. Let's make sure I said it right, because that's my favorite one. Put on the whole armor of God. So it says, finally, my brothers, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take to you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith. It says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereto with all perseverance and supplications for all saints. Basically saying, your armor, the way to fight against these wicked thoughts, because these psychology terms and all, it's evil. It's a dark force that's working against you. It's a dark force. And the way you fight against it is having faith in the Lord your God, being true to his word, being true to his promises, getting into his word, knowing his ways, knowing who he is, knowing his character, paying attention to his pattern. You want to pay attention to all patterns. When you learn to pay attention to people's patterns, that's how you get to know them. That's how you know a person. Their patterns. God is the same way. When you get to know God, you be like, he does the same thing. And that's how you realize the devil, he does the same thing too. He keep coming in every week. I'm better than every week you try to get him with this same thing. But the way you kick him is even when you feeling that, because yesterday I'm crying, but guess what? I'm still typing. I'm still sitting here making this book. I'm still sitting here, even though my faith right now, it's like I have faith. It's not that I ever had faith that God is not going to do it, because I know he's going to do it. I just get mad about the patience part. Like, dang, it take you back and be like, dang, why am I always put last? Even though we know the word say the first shall be the first shall be last and the last shall be first. But it take you back to, dang, I'm always last. Why am I never good enough to be first? Or why am I not seen until I cause a fit? Why do I gotta do this? It take you back to those points of like, dang, I'm just always starting over. I'm always at the bottom, or I'm always, those demonic thoughts that we'll end up getting. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm this. All I'm ever going to do is be fat. All I'm going to do is be ugly. Oh, it just takes you back to thinking these things. But it's nothing but tricks of the enemy. So for me, it's like, it ain't that I don't have the faith. It's like, dang, why does it always got to take so long? Like, why everything always got to be long? But two, there's beauty in that, because God is not about doing rush projects. He don't like to rush anything, because slow and steady wins the race. When you take your time, more quality comes out of it. Just like we try to rush relationships, and the things that we rush, it end up crashing just as fast. When you try to rush things, you don't really get to enjoy the process, because you want to get to the finish line. But there's beauty in the process. And I remember 50 Cent had did a video one time. I was watching like the business motivation videos, and it was, 50 Cent on there talking about, once he made it to the top, he actually did a lot of reflecting about the journey. He realized he had more fun doing the journey, because once you get there, it's like, you're here now. But it's fun in the journey. And even now, when I just think back about, like, I'll be looking at our pictures, I'm like, dang, we was doing this. We was on through this past 2 years, baby, of us being in Texas. I'm telling you, and it's been a journey. We've been here, we've been there, we've been there. And I take pictures of everything, because I know that I'm going to look back at these days. I already do it now and be like, dang, we was here. We were doing this. Look how, we ain't have this. We ain't even had no money to do nothing, but we went up to the mall and just dress up. I just played dress up with my kids at the mall with, my oldest daughter. And because she liked to dress up, I'm like, I feel bad. I be feeling bad sometimes. Like, mommy ain't got no clothes. I don't got really nothing. Kids like to play dress up. Every child want to play dress up, but I went to the thrift store, bought some little heels for her to play around in. And before I even did that, when we were staying at the motel and stuff, I'm like, we would just go to the mall. The power went out at the motel, all of that. Like, so much of the journey. And it do make you humble. It make you appreciative. It gives you compassion to other people who don't have what you have. And it make you not look down on them, because you know what it feels like to not have. You know what it feels like. And we would just go to the mall, and that was our place, because there's a play area up at the mall. We get something to eat, maybe, or we just eat before we go. Or, I might have had a couple dollars, because I was selling so I didn't sold my other phone that I had. I didn't lost a lot. And I'm even mad that I sold that phone too, because I had videos in that phone that didn't transfer over. I got all my pictures, and that didn't transfer over. Even recently too, the iPad that finally just broken up screen and finally went out, I guess. And it's so funny. It went out that day that dang on baby daddy called that thing. Like, and it went out. That's because God was blocking that. Even though he ended up calling my phone too. And wasn't saying nothing. It was just, someone's gonna call me if you need anything. Like, I'm not calling you. I have the Lord. Like, leave me alone. But even with that, I'm like, I just want to give my baby a new iPad. Like, it just, when I used to be in a season where I could provide everything for my kids, like, where we wasn't lacking for nothing. And then it's like, I feel like I've been here before, which is why I worked so hard that last time to get about that rut. Like I worked so hard that time. But I understand the only reason why I took this turn this time, took these L's, which it ain't really L's, it was to shift me, is because last time it wasn't built on God. My foundation wasn't built on the Lord. It was built on self, like what I can do for self. And that's part of idolatry, which I talk about in here too, where it's like you think it's like I don't know if self-righteousness is a word, but when you rely so heavily on yourself and you may begin to think that you are God yourself, even though, we have our powers and, some people out here like to say that we are gods, we do have power clearly because I've seen my power because of what I've been able to do for myself. But ultimately, even then, when I didn't even know it was God still was allowing that to happen. He was allowing that stuff to happen when I didn't know. But this time he wanted me to really know him and be rooted in him, planted in him. At this time when I'm coming back up out of this, it's a whole different me. It's a whole different understanding. It's a whole different way that I'm speaking. And I'm not speaking as if I'm big-ish. If it's me and yeah, I did this, I got myself out of this, I did that. Nah, this time it was through God. This time I know that this is God. I don't know where that thing cut off at because I just had to change the microphone. But this time it's God. And when you his chosen one, because he got to get your attention, he will do all of these things. It took for all of this to get my attention. His attention. Like, even when I first started my spiritual journey, when I seen the I still didn't understand all the way, so I started just be like, wow, okay, there is a spirit realm. There is this, but then getting distracted again through dealing with people, like, and just focusing on work, focusing on money. Money is like I couldn't tap into it too much. And then I was still heavy into astrology. I just used to look up the Virgo horoscope every day. Not about love, because I just never, I never really prioritized love. The situation, and they just came about. Like I said, most of the times the dudes that I got into it, but like both my baby daddies, I wasn't focused on trying to find a man. The men just be popping up, and while I'm focused on trying to get that money, I be focused on trying to get that money and just get my life together, and they just be popping up. Even now, dudes still be, I be like, I'm good, But people who could feel your energy, just like when we was downtown, like they was just, it's like they can see that, they feel your energy. They feel the energy. We are energetic beings, and people can feel it. Because when we was downtown, the other, like last week, I'm like the dude just ran up to open the door for me. Like, I don't know if it's too because my hair is like, but no, I didn't have my hair like this that day when they was doing that. But when the other day when they calling me queen and stuff, I'm like, yeah, thank you. Definitely a queen, baby. You see a stamp, empress to be exact, because the empress is higher than a queen. And even when I was getting these tattoos and stuff, like I ain't know what, I just was getting it. But it says gorgeous empress, and it's a crown. And I got this when I was a teenager. And it just goes to show, because once I started getting into this spiritual stuff and I see that they use the words like empress and stuff, I just always used to, that's how it just be rooted in you. Even when you don't really know God, when you look back through your life, you realize that you was always set apart. You realize that you, like the things that you would do, you just realize that the things that you would say, a lot of stuff that I still say now, I used to say that back on Facebook when I was, because the memories come back up. I be like, I used to say this stuff way long ago. Stuff that I say about everything. I used to be saying this stuff, but didn't even understand to the degree that I understand now. Like, but that wisdom was like always this, and I always been told I have an old soul. And because I believe I lived before, like this not my first. That's why I think I'm so tired of a bunch of BS. Like, and I have a very low tolerance for BS. I can tell in my past life, whenever I was here before, I must have took a lot then and was fed up. So now in this day and age, I'm fed up. I don't get it. Ever since I was young, little girl, I will cut these girls off, cut these friends off. I just always had a very low tolerance for BS, and I still do. I just can't get with fake stuff. And that must be because in my past life, it must have been a lot going on. But people feel your energy, they feel it. And some people either come around to add more light to you, they try to get you to see your light, or some people will come around to dim your light. So you gotta be real selective about who is in your space, who you allow around in your space, in your energy. You have to be careful about that, and be careful about the ways you allowing the devil to use you to self-destruct your own self-sabotaging behaviors. You have to be mindful of that. And like I said, God will use any signs that he can to help you. And once you get really in tune with yourself, you'll begin to know what's from God and what's from the enemy. You'll begin to know. You'll be reading the word sometimes, because I told y'all that, like, I'm getting mad sometimes. I'll be like, oh, I know this. I don't even want to hear these words. I just want the problem to be solved right now. But no, you got to keep waiting, sis, because God is preparing a great, first of all, what you pray for it's a big thing. It's very big, in the grand scheme of things, it's very big. And it takes time to prepare certain orders. Every order ain't coming to you swiftly. This ain't fast food, baby. He putting his foot in this. He putting love in this. This breakthrough that's coming is nothing but love from the Father's love, something that a lot of us never really had. This is a mother's love, some of that we never really had. This is the parent that really, really, really love you. And that's what God's teaching me too in this season. This video that got real long. But that's what God is teaching me, that this is real love. Because a lot of these narcissistic parents and partners, they think that the love that they have for you, and that's why I think it's hard for us to understand God's love, because we're so used to people buying us, or people showing fake love, and people that will only show up for you materialistically because they provide a house, car, shoes, and things like that, that when you get in that emotional fulfillment from the Lord, and he not focused on that material stuff first, because he don't want to focus on that material stuff, because he know that material stuff is just that. It's here today, gone tomorrow. But that emotional connection, that nurturing, that's forever. That time spent, that makes more memories than all of that other stuff. Because just look how quickly we can get the house, we can get the cars, we can get the shoes, we can get all the materialistic things, and be sad the next day because of something that we're not getting fed emotionally. We're not getting that nurturing that we need on a spiritual, on a mental level. We're not getting that fulfillment. And that's why God wants us to focus on that first, then focus on all of that other stuff. That's why he says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Then all that other stuff will be added to you. Because he know a lot of us is hurt on the inside. Things that money, cars, shoes, and clothes can never fill. Those can't fill those voids. That stuff that just keep us chasing. That stuff keep us just going for something, but really it's something we missing on the inside. We have an emptiness on the inside that only God fulfill. And once you get that, just be like, dang, there is somebody that really do love me. That really do love me. Flaws and all. Yes, he want better for me, and he gonna get on me too. He get on us. And it's he get on us because he love us. That tough love that he have on us is because he love us. It's because he do want better for us. It's because he know what we out here doing, what we've been through, what we going through. He knows it. He wants to help with that. But he wants you to call on him and trust in him. Child can go on and on and on. But I'm going to leave it here because my baby down there getting into the freezer. I hear her. And I didn't already took it over. I didn't mean to make it this long. But I hope y'all got something from this video. Understand that God will never leave nor forsake you. And when he want to get your attention, baby, he will use any and everybody, any and everything, anything that's a part of his creation, because the things that he put into this world for us, the things that he created was for our greater good, was to help us, was to coexist with us, was for us to utilize. So whatever he has to use, baby, he gonna use it to get you where he destined you to be. Okay, so I'll see you on the next video. Deuces. Mwah.